So today I want to talk a little bit about a photo book. You can probably tell by the title of this video, but that book is Sleeping by the Mississippi by Alex Soth. It is one of my all-time favorites. And so enough with that. Iconic image, and this is the most iconic, I think, from the book. Really quirky. See the shape there, and then moving to here, it's like a cross shape continues. Noticing that in the background of that gas station, there is a cemetery right above it. Strange. Another giant cross, really prevalent throughout the book, these images and shapes of a cross. Oh, I love this picture. I'm on this door. If you zoom in, really study it, you see a figure, which then kind of connects well to that picture there of this face on a plastic sheet almost, it looks like. Another connection with the cross there on his collar, which I find really interesting. Cross. Another cross on the forehead. Looks like from like Ash Wednesday or something. A cemetery there. Celebration of some sort. Another connection to like cemetery, gravesite. So you can see there are a lot of repeating themes throughout this book, which really make it enjoyable to me. But what makes it even more special is that every time I flip through this book, I'm also finding something very different and something new. And that's what really makes Sleeping by the Mississippi so special, in my opinion. All right, so that's Sleeping by the Mississippi by Alex Soth. You know, incredible book. It's one that just does so many things. The quality of the images, the story, the feelings that it pulls from you. Really an incredible book. I don't think there's any question about that. There's no question about that in my mind. Alec is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, photographer. I really enjoy most all of his work that I have seen. And Sleeping by the Mississippi, as I mentioned earlier, just really has a special spot in my book collection, and really was responsible for changing my approach to photography and really what photography means to me. I remember it very vividly. You know, it was several years ago at this point. It was probably, wow, scary to think how long ago. It was probably 13, 14 years ago. I was in Milan. I was living there at the time. And as was common on the weekend, I was, in the center of Milan, walking around, going to different galleries or museums, or just whatever, enjoying the city. It's an incredible place. And I wandered into a museum that had an exhibition of photography. And at this point, photography for me was just going to, a big church, an old city, taking pictures, which I really enjoyed. But that's what it was to me. And then as I wandered through this exhibition, I get to the part that has photos from Sleeping by the Mississippi. And when I saw those pictures, it was just, I saw something so familiar in them. but something so quirky and something that made me feel, really elicited an emotional response, which was the first time I'd ever had anything like that from photos. So it was like a light bulb had gone on, and from there, walking out of that exhibition, I went to the local bookshop. I picked up my first photo books, and it has fueled a passion for photography and for photo books that really has changed a lot for me. So then, I didn't immediately get a copy of Sleeping by the Mississippi. They weren't available. It was out of print by that point. And it wasn't until probably about 5 years later, when I was looking for another photo book, found a gentleman who was selling his entire collection. And so he sent me an inventory list of kind of all the books that he was looking to sell. And so I looked through that, and I made an offer for most of his collection, and we eventually reached an agreement on what the price should be, and I was most excited to get Sleeping by the Mississippi. That book really holds a special place for me, and that book will never leave my collection. It's certainly one of my favorites. Several other of Alec's works, definitely keepers for me. But anyways, that's really about all I have to say. So, check out Sleeping by the Mississippi. You won't be disappointed. Check out Alec's YouTube, and also check out the Magnum Learning course that Alec has. It's a really great deal. It's I think like $100 or something, and you get a lot of really interesting videos where Alec shares kind of his approach and thoughts on photography, which is pretty interesting to hear. But hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what's up. All right, peace.